Congratulations, everybody. We have to sit down, sit down. We had a lot of work to do. David Maslanka is a great friend of mine. We had him on campus a few times. We gave him an honorary doctorate at St. Olaf. We've recorded a bunch of his music, and I know that he's up in heaven right now, and he's smiling because you know what his music is about. It came right off the stage, and it affected people out here. Affected me, certainly. The ending was meaningful. It was balanced. It wasn't overblown or anything like that. The kinds of comments that I would have here would just be little things in the beginning here. Can we go to where we have the key change in the first movement? That cut worked really well, by the way. Really well done. Let's take a look, please, at first movement, measure 55. What happens here? What's happening in the music right here? Can you feel it? Yeah, there's a change, isn't there? What changes? It's sort of a minor to a major, isn't it? Can you hear it? And all of a sudden we're in G major. And so that's what we want to embrace. It needs to be really in tune. And what I would have you do is just take the pairs, that kind of thing, and think of a little bit of a tenuto on the first of the paired notes and drive the music forward. Okay? And so let's take the chord at measure 54, the last held note that you have right before that. Here's measure 54. Yeah. I mean, isn't that a wonderful moment of waiting and anticipation? And then here's the downbeat. Yeah, and so you got to put your heart into this thing. Here's that downbeat of 55. Yeah. And we need to have that change right there. For the harmony right there, it looks like simple stuff, but he's in G, and then all of a sudden he goes C, C. This guy was intense. He had dilated pupils his entire life, I think. You'd talk to him and you'd like dive right into his spirit. He was an amazing man, and something as simple as that harmonic change was spiritual to him. And when you approach this music and start to understand that, it just goes to the next level, and you're ready for that. You've got all the notes, you've got all the rhythms, you're in tune, everything is going fine, so you're ready to just lift it and keep studying this piece. It would be great for you to do it for the rest of the year. You probably wouldn't want to do it, but it has that depth. It just keeps giving. When you get into a piece of music like this, it's always giving back. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, I'm very impressed. It's not an easy piece. I've done it many times with a bunch of different ensembles, and that was a meaningful performance. That's the whole thing. A little warped here and there. Snow days, right? Stuff like that. But it had meaning. It expressed it. We're done. Thank you very much. You bet.
He has covered me with the robe of righteousness. Well, Stillwater, that was so great. It's wonderful to hear you. And I want to point out one thing that I thought was so special about your set, and that is the architecture of each piece that you sang. It feels to me like you know where the phrases go, like you know where the loudest point is and where the softest point is of each piece, and you really led us on a journey for each of those pieces. So thank you, Angela. Thank you, choir. It was really, really wonderful for that. I appreciate it so much. Can I just mess with you a little bit? Yeah? So we have in front of us a choir that looks like my stereotyping of what a Minnesota choir, large choir, would look like. Would you agree with that statement? And the couple of you who are students of color in the room are like, hey, don't forget about me. I see you, my Asian and black brothers and sisters up there. But basically, we look like what we think of in northern Minnesota, right? And consequently, your first three pieces, which come directly out of the Lutheran church tradition, are like amazing. They blew my mind. I've never heard them sung better by a high school choir. Abendlied, your German was fabulous. Nobody sings German as fabulously as that. It was really exciting, really, really beautiful. When we get to the end, actually, let me do one thing on Abendlied. The very ending of Abendlied, you have this wonderful diminuendo from fortissimo to piano, right? You know what I'm talking about? In those last 5 bars, then es wird Abend werden, right? And you did that so beautifully. Will you show this audience again how you go from fortissimo to pianissimo at the end? That's a glorious diminuendo, right? Yeah. Really, really beautiful. Now, at the very beginning, we have to go from piano to forte in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. I didn't feel that at the beginning. So I'm wondering if we can start at the beginning. May I? Oh, yeah. Just for fun. I'm on sabbatical right now, so I don't actually have my own choir for the next 7 months. And I already missed them. It's only been 2 weeks. So beginning, please. It's too loud. I need all that color, all that beauty, all that togetherness, but start softer so you've got someplace to go. Forte. Forte. Keep going. Keep going. That's fun, isn't it? That's really fun. So you can do it. Know that the same attention to that kind of crescendo diminuendo that you do at the end goes in the beginning also. Beautiful sound. Now let's talk about Daniel. So I want you to pretend for a second that we're not in Minnesota. Okay? But that we're at the Tuskegee Institute, down south, which was the first of the historically black colleges. And that your choir director is not this fabulous woman to my left, but a guy named Burley, who was the first person to bring together all of these spirituals and codify them and write them out. How would you sing this? Would it be, oh, the king cried, oh, or would it be, oh, the king cried, oh, Daniel, Daniel. Can we just give it the same attention to a different kind of vowel as we do when we're singing an English spiritual? You got your first note for this? Yeah? Yeah? 1, 2. Oh, the king
cried, oh.
So instead of, oh, the king cried, oh, Daniel. Get some more space. 1, 2.
Oh, the king cried, oh, Daniel, Daniel, oh, Daniel, Daniel, oh, a Hebrew Daniel, servant of the Lord. Oh, the king cried, oh, Daniel, Daniel, oh, Daniel, Daniel, oh, about a Hebrew Daniel, servant of the Lord. Daniel, 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 Daniel. Among the Hebrews they sought, one Hebrew Daniel was found. They put him in the lion's den. He stayed there all night long. Oh, the king cried, oh, Daniel, Daniel, oh, Daniel, Daniel, oh. But a Hebrew Daniel, servant of the Lord. Now the king in his sleep was troubled.
More hum in there. And
Early in the morning he awoke to find God had sent his angel down.
biggest value you can make.
To lock the lion's jaws.
Yeah. English is such a fabulous language. Sometimes we want to sing like a Lutheran choir from northern Minnesota. I work on the closed O with my Californians all the time. They can't say oh, because we never say don't you know. They say yeah, yeah, bro. What's up, bro? Good. Yeah, I can't get them to sing a pure O, so I work really hard. But sometimes we want to sing like the choir at Tuskegee Institute. And sometimes we want to do English madrigals, and we want to do a beautiful English accent. Why not do all those things? And know that you're not being inauthentic to yourselves. You're not being inauthentic to yourselves as Minnesotans. If you're like, you know what, we're going to sing this like we're in the South. That's okay. In fact, it's super stylish, and that was super stylish. Thank you for letting me mess with you. You're fabulous.
All right. Welcome to the 2019 Suburban East Conference Music Festival. Please remember that audience members must stay in their seats until after the clinician has finished working with the performing ensemble. We also remind you to remain quiet and refrain from using electronic devices and flash photography during the session. Our clinician this year is Dr. Kirk D. Moss, who serves as professor and chair of the Department of Music and Theater at the University of Northwestern in St. Paul. Please welcome the Stillwater Area High School Concert Orchestra under the direction of Zach Sawyer.
Well, congratulations. It's great to hear Mozart and followed by the Bizet. Such fun repertoire and a nice combination. So, yeah, thanks a lot. Really, some wonderful, wonderful, beautiful sounds that you're getting in so many ways. Everything from the soli sections on those exposed moments in Mozart, which is just lovely chordal playing. Really, congratulations. And the harp and flute and clarinet and others here, just so wonderful to hear the solo in the intermezzo. And then Toreadors is always fun. All right, couple quick things for us. I would love to start the Allegro with you in the Mozart for just a moment. There. The one right near the beginning, right after the introductory material. Ready? Here we are. And I'm just going to breathe. Now, make sure. So you had this fantastic, you do a great job breathing. And as I've said with the honor orchestra, I recommend breathing. I think breathing is a good thing. So as long as we're breathing, and you breathe in so well there, I think you need to breathe in a little bit here. But the other trick to make sure is 100% of your bows are on the string when you start this. I think what you experienced that time wasn't so much an unfamiliar room or anything else you did. It's just some of you started from the air, some of you started from on the string, and when that happens, the precision's going to be really hard. Then you caught it right away, which is the other thing I thought. It's just like you didn't start. So try starting from the string. Now, help me with your name here. Frank, you're going to breathe in your whole section here a little bit, all right? And I know it's tricky because you don't want to be like having an earthquake while you're trying to do this little delicate, but there's got to be a little collective sense. Now, you're not all going to see Frank from 6 rows back, but you'll see the person in front of you who will see the person in front of them. And just there's that sense of unity. I'm just going to breathe and drop, and off we go. Here we are right on that Allegro. Ready? And yeah, that's it. And again. And I'm not conducting, I'm just dropping to get you started. And you go, all right? Breathe it in and just go from the string. And that's it. Yeah, a little warmer breath. You can go, give us a little resonance there. Here we are, decorate it up. Yeah. Right, and then the next thing, as soon as we get that started, the next thing is, what shape am I playing? Because Mozart never writes. Now, that's exactly what it looks like on the page. But that's why you're the musicians. So, to this, yet the more it repeats, the more repetitious in the notes, the more the shape has to just unfold. So, here we go. I'll give you some ideas in shape. Just little things here as we get this started. And nice, oh, man. A cold day, you see your breath. Ah, is that release? Yeah, once more, and. Right, that's it, yeah. So you play it so well, you're not having nearly enough fun. I mean, Mozart is fun everywhere you look. You have to find in your part fun. And in the repetition especially, it's like, all right, what did he have in mind? He's playful as all get out, and it's from an opera, and it's getting the whole scene started, so it's very theatrical. So just have a little more fun, shape a little more, really go after those things. Let's go into Bizet for a moment. Our time flies. And let's go to Toreador's. Same principle here at the very beginning. 100% of the strings bows start on the string, from the string here. So we get that nice pop on the first one. Here we go. Right, that's it. And it's almost like you're tossing that first note. So it's like a baseball. Here we go. And good. Now, lots of ways to bow this, and I'm not trying to like micromanage here, but I love during that long note. So during that long note, you're playing it really well, and you play here, but then there's a tendency as we get out toward the tip to decrescendo a little bit, and then you got to catch that up bow. Now you're doing that pretty well. We don't really want the decrescendo there, so what I would recommend, you might consider trying staggering during that long bow, so you can get a little more toward the bottom. Then you can do something really cool. You can make a little crescendo at the end of that long note on the trill, which sounds really cool, and then you can release that up bow right into the air. That's that Collet bow stroke that some of us, we worked just a moment on yesterday in the honor orchestra. Get those knuckles going and just release. Yup! And take it right off the string. It's a really quick release. It'll sound awesome, and you can do it, and then it'll give you a little push at the end of the note. Just something to think about for later. Let's get into, speaking of just shape and fun, how about we go to the wonderful melody at C. Here we go. C, just to play with it a bit. C. C. What we got? We got trumpets there and trombones, I think. That's it. Yep. Nice and round. And yep. And ready. Shape. Right. So just, I think there's some things we can still do more. We won't have time today. Just a little more shaping in there, and then listening in really closely. Sometimes our accidentals come out a little bit like accidents, because you can hear the accidentals orally as a listener. So what the thing is with a group like this, it's totally fixable. So we just need to dial in a few little places. So all those lines, wonderful playing, wonderful phrasing. Just love what you're doing. Just keep doing it. It's so wonderful to have an orchestra like this with such a history in Stillwater as well. So congratulations today.